Looking to get back somewhere up in there. I like the fact that it's all open.
Looking for the mountains.
Pretty amazing.
Looking for that wild place.
I'm up in the saddle
Looking
now.
for the mountains. Looking for them wild places. Yes. The casket checkers back on the scene.
Back on the scene.
It's warm this afternoon. But check this out. Right back here, I found exactly what I wanted. This is the BLM Garden Creek Recreation Center area. And I've got a shaded camp spot with a picnic table. Heck yeah. Yeah, that's my ride. And we were kicking it on the way over here. Not very far. I'm glad I got the drive out of the way today. And man, what a score to find this spot here. Whenever I've pulled in, and I've never really checked the whole thing out, it's not much at all, just this grouping of trees with picnic tables and some places to camp. There've always been people here, you know, with their RVs and campers and stuff like that. There's nobody here right now. And this is the best spot right here. Look at, there's only one other spot in the trees, and it's a little teeny one back this way. There's some spread out picnic tables on the edge, all in the sun. And what I thought was there was, you know, close running water. We've got the Lost River somewhere that way, and I think that if I took a dirt gravel road, I could get to it. But look, I stocked up on Boulder Creek water before I came over here. I'm glad I did. And right now it's like slightly warm in the shade. So yeah, I guess I'm starting part 2 of this Pioneer Mountain adventure tomorrow. Quite a bit exhausted right now. I'm gonna have the tent right over here, and the road is close, but beggars can't be choosy. You know, I've slept next to roads many a night, and it's just how it is. Heck yeah. Cascade Trekkers on the scene again. Found the water. A big lost river, maybe? Yeah. Okay, so it's not how I want to get to it. I had to drive a little ways back here. And we got this big mess here. Cows, I think, in here. There's the motorcycle. I need a better access. We got campsites over here. I didn't want to mess up and disturb them, so there might be another access. I need to get some water to clean things. Okay. Awesome place to be. I couldn't have asked for anything better for a switchover from the last journey to the next journey. And honestly, it's a bit tricky logistically. I'm just going to start and roll back. There are no bugs here. No bugs. Fantastic. I'm airing out the sleeping bag inside out. Long overdue. Okay, where to start here? I've got the food separated. This is saved for this next adventure and whatever happens after that. This is leftover. Mostly produce. We're talking carrots. I put a bunch of carrots in here. The first time, maybe forever, I've packed carrots and I'm quite happy about it. So I'm gonna switch it up, integrate the food. I have fuel, cooking fuel to switch out. Moving on. Okay, no doubt, toilet paper update. Here is my clean water that I have acquired and saved since leaving Boulder Creek. I took a trip down to the river twice. First to see if I could access the water. This is dirty water to clean my body. Alright? I'm with dirty clothes, dirty body. It's going to happen here tonight. What's next? The cooking pot cleaned. It just boils over. I don't know what's going on. It's annoying. Only when I'm cooking dinner. And the fact is, guys, I won't be cooking dinner in brown bear country. Only coffee. So I might switch it up a little bit with just a coffee cup. Alright, so great news is I have clean clothes for the next however many day adventure. Clean shirt, clean pants, clean sleeping long johns, one pair of underwear, hanky, two pair of socks. This is a long sleeve shirt I don't know if I need. I have two that I've been using, unwashed. Seems that the base layer is the culprit for being dirty. Oh, I guess I rolled through everything here. Well, big progress here. Okay, I'm clean as well as it could be without running water nearby. Prepared for tomorrow, the next bit of adventure. The food, it's all here in the bear can, and it's gonna stay here. Night snacks, clean water, dirty water. Everything is set. Good morning. Yes, this is the Big Lost River. I am with my second morning here at this Garden Creek BLM campground, and this back here has got to be the best kept secret here at Garden City, which is what I'm calling it. There's like a second sort of area back here right on the river for camping. I never knew it was here. I don't think many people do. You have to kind of cut through the sage to get back here. So I was, first night, 150 yards that way in the aspen grove, and I guess this is the cottonwood grove. Real nice. There's a couple picnic tables back here. When I realized it was back here, there were some people back here, and there's not much grass for a tent. However, after deciding to stay another night, which I will describe why, there was a couple of vehicles pulled in right next to the toilet. I mean, they're like policing the toilet there. And, you know, with the RVs, cars, it's just closing doors, slamming doors, this and that, rattling, tinkering, fidgeting. And about 6 o'clock last night, I just couldn't take it. And I carried my tent on my back, which I'm getting pretty good at, and relocated here in about 5 or 10 minutes. What's interesting about this Lost River is that I just noticed, like right here, it's deep. It's like probably neck deep right in here. So yeah, that's a lot of water. Got my coffee, getting an early start. So right here, last night, finished reading a book and I'm getting ready to sleep, and I hear like this boom. Sounded like a dog. It really did. It was really close, but then the cadence followed. Ooh, 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 ooh. A big old owl, huge, and his first cadence, that long note, there was a trill to it. He was like holding it in all day. Ooh, 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 ooh. And I was like, wow. In my heart and in my soul, that is the reason for me staying another day and coming right down here last night to be enchanted by this owl. And this guy was right up here, right above the tent. And what are the odds of that? Okay? And so I was just mesmerized in my tent, hearing him go, and he was just going nonstop. And like all of a sudden, I just wanted, because I didn't really know how close these trees were, I slid my head like over here to look up there, and I said, hey bud, I hear you. And he stopped. And I think I saw a little movement, but this guy had to be 2.5 feet tall with the you know, the powerful hooting he was making. Just amazing. My totem, owl feathers. I was gonna look for a feather. I'm gonna look for a feather, see if he dropped any. Okay. This is Falls Creek Trailhead down here. This is a place I've been to 2 years ago to climb up Surprise Valley. That was amazing. And this time I'm gonna take the left fork. I think it's the east fork of Falls Creek. And the sign here says it's the Highline Trail. I'm just going to go back and immerse. 3 nights. The weather's holding. Surprising. It's just been, you know, over a week now. I'm locked up down here to the fence. It's a good lockup position. The only thing of real value are my cycle supplies that are going to be left here. Extra clothes. The bear can is going to be in here. That's it. So just have to hope nothing happens. Yeah, I'm starting up this climb. It's dry, really dry. Glad I started when I did. Not hot yet. And I've got 1.5 miles to my cutoff trail. So I'm looking to get back up into that saddle today. Okay, this is the draw that I'm climbing up. Not much of any climb to get up there. Been here before, except not this way. This wind just really picked up strong. Nuts. Here we go. Alright, I'm at the bottom of the saddle after 4 long switches up the sage slope, and nice view over there, and really not as expected with all the sage here. I'm sure it'll get a little thicker and greener farther up, and we've got the creek as expected down in a canyon like this. So what I'm looking at is access to water, preferably an established campsite, but I can see some nice possibilities. And there are tons of animal tracks, hooved animal tracks, deer, elk, maybe even goats from some of the scat I've seen. Starts to level out back here with the creek somewhere in here. Definitely moose habitat. Still, we've got some sage going on, drier open areas. This was nice to have, you know, line of sight hiking and not really close stuff. Curious to see where this trail goes. And we might look for something back there. I don't want to be anywhere close to this. And this, actually, we might have a spring in here. Yeah, there's some running water right here, just a little bit, enough to get my drinking water. And the trail goes this way, which I'm not too keen on. And I was still looking back there, those evergreen trees and the sage, for a possible campsite. This would be a whole lot easier getting water from the spring than down at the creek. And here's the place to look for animal tracks. And this one, right there, is a monster. That's a moose. Probably here too. Here. This is a good place for water. I don't see any cat tracks, bear tracks. Monster footprint right there. Alright, where does this trail go? Around here. It's close. It's close, and there's big... I wasn't ready for this. Crossing. I might be able to get it on the boulders. That's going to be tricky. I'll need a stick. Damn it. I got the creek crossing alright. Almost slipped. These are big. I'm thinking we got horse tracks. This one, massive. Alright, massive. Big, massive moose tracks. Wide enough for a rack, and I think the cows are even bigger than the males. Here we got a bear track. Not awful big. Black bear. Wow. I picked the adventure trail. I don't think people come back here unless on horses. Yeah. And I've got one in the chamber now. Man, that thicket was scary. And now it's all steep. I need some flat area, some nice pine trees. And there's just still tons of places for these animals to hide. I'm making noise. Got the whistle. And I'm hollering. Alright, I'm checking out this it's a row of forest right here. And I think it's because water drains down this rock slide here. Now, we got some good opportunities in here. It's flat, grassy. Almost looks like an animal trail right here. Yeah. Probably where they like to hang out. What I'm gonna look for is something way at the back, so then I'll have three sides, two open relatively, and maybe one with just rocks. So I think they come up here and hang out. I really don't want any visitors tonight. Well, maybe the moose have the same idea. Here's a huge pile of crap, and this is all worn. And it's a fact. Yeah, here's another couple big piles. It's a fact they go up into the hills at night for safety. Holy man, look at these honking ass piles. Unless I just find an individual tree or two back this way. It's getting kind of spooky. Well, I've angled away from that flat spot, and it's real rough in here with boulders and down trees. I'm just hoping for some luck and a spot where they haven't been a lot. We're gonna go this way and look at these trees in here. Still looking, and it doesn't look like it's gonna be flat enough. I've wandered quite a ways from the trail, and what I got now is this rock slide here. That's my marker, oddly enough, to get back to that cusp where that fire pit and all the poop was. That's if I can't find the trail. And I think if I do what I want to do, let me get up here, I won't have a trail farther back. That's if I want to keep going like this. First, I gotta find a camp spot. I found something that I could probably make work right here. Just two lone trees, not visited by animals. I've been crossing the side of this slope here, and I've seen elk signs, and that's about it. I think I'm going to make this work. And looking further up, I can see that lower hump, very similar to this terrain. That's inviting. It's open. And I'm just going to have to hope that I can catch the trail somewhere along this creek here. I might go down and look for it here in a little while. Well, I guess I never really stopped to look at these rock formations. Pretty awesome. And they're close. Alright guys, I got this tent tucked away in here. I'm pretty happy with it. Not as bad as I thought it would be. Got the branches are bungeed back to have access, and 2 liters of water to get me through to the morning, which should be fine, though I'm very thirsty, and this hot wind is just sucking the moisture out of me, out of everything, it seems. What I've realized with this one is that it's a no-brainer to get out, and it's a no-brainer to go forward. So what I'm just going to do is just relax, read, and just kind of chill in here. What I've looked at the map and found out is that the opposite side of the creek has more flat area, more like grassy sage. So I'm going to see about getting on the other side tomorrow and following it around the corner. And basically, it's just going to be a backcountry camp again tomorrow. The trail, if it continues by the map, it just goes up through this draw and up over the top. And that's a really, really dry trail. The map shows it. My hiking book says it doesn't exist. I'm bailing on this spot. It was a constant battle just to try and keep from sliding down. It really was too much effort, constant effort. I looked at the map, okay, and found that the other side of the creek is flat. And then I walked over here And I found some flat spots just by looking across the creek. Now all I have to do is get across the creek. Alright, here it is. Somewhat easy access through here. And I'm gonna jump to there. And I'll just have to scramble up this, which is no biggie. I hope. I see it. I got this. Yeah, I did it. And this is 100 times better camp locations. Water, relatively accessible. And there's even a trail on this side of the creek. And I'm parched already. How much farther do I go? Maybe not much. Maybe right here. Alright. More moose. And they've been rubbing on these trees. Lots of activity in here. Pretty sure. Yeah, it can't be cattle way up in here. Except none of these are fresh. That's a good sign. Yeah, I think I might just do that one back there. A lot of big animals in here. Alright. I'll be 100 times happier here. Feeling it. I'm feeling still residual tiredness and muscle aches from that last trip. This was only about 2.5 miles maybe. Constant uphill though. And I'm right on the animal trail. This has got to be an animal trail. I really expect to hear something come by. I was thinking of leaving these hanging here, kind of as a visual warning if they're coming this way or this way. You know, hey, what's that hanging from the tree? Doesn't look normal. Maybe they'll smell something. There's tons of sweat on these. But then again, I don't want to lose these. Alright? A moose is like a horse. And a horse might start nibbling on it and take it away. That's about all I got. A few more hours of daylight. All right. Here it is. The next morning. Pretty calm and peaceful here, uneventful. No close animals. And this is going to be the end of this trip, I've decided. A couple things. First off, my intent was to explore this canyon, and coming up this far, I pretty much know what it is. And after reading about it, further up, the book talks about springs, many springs, water springs, which means you're going to have willow thickets. And what does that mean? After seeing these two, what I call moose playgrounds, it's a moose favorite habitat. All right, so I don't want to intrude. They're back there because people don't go back there. And, you know, I really don't want to have a moose encounter, and especially off trail. Okay, so we're done back here. We're gonna head out. Couple things on my mind. Preparing for bear country, preparing for the trips to bear country. As it is, we're at the end of the second week of August. In my mind, that puts 2 more weeks of summer left. Okay, basically, with you know, the absence of bugs, which may or may not be, uh, it's the last summertime trekking these last 2 weeks. All right, so my next trip is I have to reinvent this whole pack. I have to clean everything. I have to clean this tent, the pads I'm going to use. With me eating in this tent, they're all going to smell like food. So I have to clean everything. I have to find antiperspirant that has no odor. I have to look about finding things with no odors, and I have to reinvent the food because I'm not going to be cooking dinners. It's all going to be hand food, snack food, and possibly, most likely, some kind of broth for the night uh, warm up food intake. So I really need to bail. This is this is actually day 9 out here. This looks like a biter. He's a biter. This little bastard fly, like the last biter. Anyway, so yeah, this is day 9, away from a hot shower. I I'm doing okay with that. The clothing setup was perfect. I've done little washing of clothing. Um, Cleanup of the body has been doable. All right, so it's kind of a test also for the longer outings on the motorcycle, and that's good. We've got some things set in place. I've taken some notes to make, you know, my supplies better, and I'm gonna also go home and focus on those later fall trips. You know, I need to check maps, hiking distance, mileages. There's just some preparations that I feel I need to do. Anyhow, I hope you join me on those next outings for 2025.